Hey, welcome back my friends. I'm here today at the firing range in Corinnes. You know, I started a new playthrough the other day, and I was wondering, should I use the crossbow or the bow in this playthrough? Because I'm honestly not sure which one is faster. And so I tried to search it up on the internet, but I couldn't really find any good source actually showing some evidence that one is better or the other. So today we're going to find out which weapon is actually better in terms of damage per second and also in terms of which one is faster. I'm going to be using the regular crossbow and the regular bow for the testing. I'm using a cheated character which has 40 strength and 40 agility, and I also have a lot of learning points so that I can level up my bow and crossbow skills to see which one is better at different levels. I'm using Old Faithful character helper to help me with leveling up my skills. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm gonna pick up the bow and the crossbow, and we'll start with the bow. So let me just equip the bow here. Okay, here's the bow. Yep.
Put down that weapon.
Oh yeah, 1 second. That's better. Now let's get started. I'm gonna do 10 shots. So just keep in mind that when I do these shots, I look back at the video and I time exactly to the frame when the arrow or bolt is released. Alright, so 10 seconds and a little bit on the bow. Next is the crossbow. I'm just gonna skip forward a little bit because I fire a few shots before I do the actual test. Alright, so it seems that the winner is the bow, and so I just divided both of the times by 10 because I fired 10 shots, and it turns out that the bow fires 0.1 seconds faster than the crossbow, or 100 milliseconds faster per shot. I've leveled up the character to 30%, which is marksman level. Let's see what happens. Alright, that's clocking in at about 9 seconds and a little bit. Now let's go for the crossbow. Alright, so it seems like we have a clear winner here. The bow again. And this time the bow is almost 0.2 seconds faster, or 200 milliseconds. That's a pretty big difference. Now for the final test, as you can see, the stats are both at 60%. And I'm pretty excited to see what will happen now, considering that the bow has been faster than the crossbow so far. Alright, that's clocking in at about 8 seconds. Now let's see what the crossbow can do. Following the trend, the crossbow should be slower than the bow. You know, I was very surprised by this result. I didn't think the crossbow was firing as fast as the bow. When I did my playthrough with the crossbow, I thought it was quite fast, but I didn't think it was as fast. So you can see here, they round off to about 0.8, both of them. That's incredible. Alright, now let's look at all the scores all together. Overall, the bow is faster than the crossbow. But at master level, the bow and the crossbow are both about the same. It seems that it doesn't really matter which one you pick, because in the end of the game, when you get to master level, the firing time levels out. These results honestly took me by surprise. I didn't expect that the crossbow would be the same as the bow, or pretty much the same. I always thought that the crossbow would be slower than the bow. Okay, so we can see now that ultimately, the firing speed of the crossbow and the bow are about the same towards the end of the game. so it doesn't really matter which one you choose. It only matters in the early game what playstyle you prefer. But what about draw time? I noticed in my playthrough that drawing the crossbow takes a lot longer than drawing the bow. So let's check it out as well. I'm timing this from the moment the weapon is drawn to the first shot. Alright, for this one it seems like they're about the same. Now let's do marksman. Wow, it seems like the bow is a clear winner there by more than 800 milliseconds. And now for the most anticipated. Sorry guys, that was a pretty fast clip on the last one. But as you can see, the bow is faster in terms of draw speed by more than 300 milliseconds. Okay guys, so we found out today that the bow is not actually faster than the crossbow at master level. However, overall, while leveling up and at marksman level, the bow is faster. Also, the draw speed of the bow is a lot faster. But how does this apply to gameplay? I'm here guys at the Valley of Mines, and we're gonna test out how this applies to gameplay. So over there on the other side is an orc. I'm gonna try to get as close to the orc as possible so that he sees me and he starts running towards me. We're gonna time how long it takes him to get to me, so we can estimate how many shots you can get in with a crossbow or a bow before the orc reaches you. Alright, so there it is. That was about 6 seconds. 6.16. So let's see what we can do with that. Well, firstly, if you divide 6.1 seconds by 0.8, which is the amount of time it takes to shoot one bolt or one arrow at master level, you get 7.625, which is the amount of shots you'll be able to fire before the orc strikes you. We can round that off to 7 because it's impossible to shoot 7.625 times. Now consider that a group of orcs is charging at you, not just one. So you're probably not going to be able to kill them all from a distance. So you must resort to using your sword after you shoot your bow or your crossbow. Well, in this case, putting away your weapon should be something that is considered. With that said, taking into account putting away your weapon, you can see that with the bow you can still get 7 shots in before the orc approaches you. As for the crossbow, accounting for the put away time, it turns out that you can only get 6 shots in before the orc approaches you, which is 1 less than the bow. Alright everybody, so the winner has been announced. You get 1 extra shot with the bow, so the bow is the winner. Actually not so fast, because there's this trick you can do which doesn't always work with every single monster, but it does with most, and it does work with orcs. As you can see here on screen, you can strafe and the orc will miss you, so you have enough time to put away your weapon. So doing this trick with the crossbow actually takes away the time that you need to put it away otherwise. So all this investigating, and it turns out that it doesn't even really matter. The crossbow and the bow are both about the same speed, despite the bow being a little bit faster in draw time and in firing speed for novice and marksman. So the takeaway from this, just enjoy your playthrough and don't worry too much about the speed. I think the gray area between the two weapons is more about the damage, but that's a topic for another video. Thank you so much for watching guys. I appreciate every single subscriber and I appreciate every single comment and every single view. So thank you very much for watching, and let's keep the Gothic community alive. See ya!